Been at it already, had my tarot read. Things are looking up for me, that's what my tarot said. Been pumping out pheromones and wearing red. Young Jerry Lawler, a king, but they're not aware of it.
Hey vlog, just in Tokyo, heading to meet a friend for coffee. I thought I'd make a mobile only vlog. You guys always ask what camera to use, and my first suggestion, always without knowing too much about what you're trying to shoot, is to use the phone that you have with you. So currently I'm using a Samsung S22 Ultra, and I'll show you what you can do with it, how it looks like in vlogging, and I'll give you some tips and tricks along the way. But heading to meet Koki, probably you all know Koki already. He's a photographer friend of mine, very talented. We're gonna grab coffee at Oniba.
$40 to show money, that's what they stole from me. Blow it all bowling, guess I roll funny. Go find me a snow bunny, ask if this cold world's making her nose runny. She melted, I wear a cape that is velvet. Couldn't see it, she felt it. See it all like I'm Elvis, move my hips like I'm Elvis. I don't pitch it, I sell it. Couldn't picture me jealous, turning fans into zealots. Tuning in when I tell it.
What are some phone photography tips you got?
I'm not telling you.
He doesn't want to share. I'll give you some tips today. I'll give you some tips as we wander around. Some people can't get the results they want. It's a bit in the edit, it's a bit in the shooting.
And it's all in the lighting.
Yeah, lighting is very important for mobile because there's a smaller sensor compared to, like I say, bigger camera. So if you can help it, shoot in good lighting. Tip number one. I'm gonna lose count of these tips.
Yeah, nice.
So this video will be almost entirely shot on a smartphone. I'm currently using the Samsung S22 Ultra. Obviously, if you see this phone in the shot, in the YouTube video, I'm using another device to capture it. So it's just for the purpose of showing you how to use the phone. But the rest of it will be S22 Ultra mostly. The loud train line. How's the audio? I'm not using a mic, it's straight with the phone. We're in Nakameguro. And we just went to Onibus Coffee. We're eating in a little Taiwanese place right next to it.
Blue moon, tune in tonight. Put you in that mood you like. Spirit moving, now loosen you up. You don't care, who cares? Look at you now, it's magic. Filling up glasses, looking like an actress. Hey, you just wanna listen to a classic, bounce like a mattress. Man, I'm out of practice. Hey, sick of how slow just living's been. Hard to get right, being limited. You just wanna go where the rhythm is.
Alright, so tip number two. When using a Samsung phone, or I think you can do it with Android, is to set the double tap custom button to open the camera. So every time I'm traveling and there's like something that comes up really quickly, I can whip my phone out, double tap it, and quickly take a shot. So it loads really quickly, and you can set it so it remembers your last setting. So if you're on photo or video, or whatever mode you're on, it'll remember that, and it's really quick to whip out the phone and snap a quick shot, and then put it in back in your pocket and move on. So we're heading to Harajuku. So for this YouTube video, I'm shooting in native 30 FPS, so it gets quite complicated, but generally in Japan, or depending on which region you're in, you want to match the frame rate. You can also shoot a bit faster, so you can do 4K 60 for example, which allows you to slow your footage down to 50%. It's great for cinematics and stabilizing footage, but I'll show you a whole bunch of 60 FPS footage as well. It's good to mix slow and fast, and that's how you kind of control the pace of your video. Always wipe your nasty lenses. It gets kind of grimy, so a t-shirt, just give it a little rub. Alright, so tip number 3 or whatever we're up to is to try to use the back camera as often as you can. It's much better quality than the front-facing one,
And when I'm doing talking head like this, I usually go 0.6 ultra wide just to make sure that I'm in frame. So I'll change it to 1x, and it's a lot tighter, and sometimes you can be pointing at not yourself. So this is 1x, it's a lot tighter as you can see, and if you're angling, you might be out of frame. So just to make sure that you're in frame, usually I try to vlog in 0.6 ultra wide. One thing to note about shooting on ultra wide though is that the camera sensor is not as good in low light. So in a place like this where it's like kind of dark but with artificial lights, it might be a bit more grainy compared to the 1x. It has a better aperture, which means it has better low light. So just keep that in mind. This is the 1x, it's better in low lights. Outdoors, it doesn't matter. Indoors where it's a bit darker, you need to be a bit more careful between using the ultra wide and the 1x.
Blue moon tune in tonight. Put you in that mood you like. Spirit moving, now loosen you up. You don't care, who cares? Look at you now, it's magic. Filling up glasses, looking like an actress. Ay. You just wanna listen to a classic, bouncing like a mattress. Man, I'm out of practice. Ay. Sick of how slow just living's been. Hard to get right, being limited. You just wanna go where the rhythm is. Be in the crowd uninhibited. You can't lay low, so follow me, I obey. So I'll probably wake up holding my head, but I know what I get.